Alright folks, hello, welcome to another Premodern video. We're going to be playing in the Magic Online Society playoffs this time around. And I'm going to pivot a little bit and I'm going to try something a little bit different. Still playing blue-white, but now we're going to be playing some Dissolution. This is a deck that I have been kind of high on. Like I tried it through one of the Magic Online leagues and it felt really good. And I just have been kind of interested in giving it another shot, but I just never really found the time to do it, I guess. This is what we're going to be trying out. The list is very similar to what I was playing in that league that I'm talking about. The only changes is that I added some Mishra's Factories to sort of help out with our threat suite of Exalted Angel, Silver Knight, Meddling Mage, and Mother of Runes, just as a way to just allow us to end the game a little bit more reliably. We still have the one of Dust Bowl, 24 lands, with some fairly good numbers in terms of what we're going to be our color requirements being sufficiently solved, I guess. The only weirdo thing is going to be Parallax Tide plus Chain of Vapor. And by the way, Chain of Vapor is a new card that I'm going to be trying out. Maybe it's great, maybe it's terrible, I don't know. I think it's going to be okay. Obviously, there's the downside of trying to, Chain of Vapor or something, and then you're allowing your opponent to like bounce your Meddling Mage or Silver Knight or whatever. But we also have access to Mother of Runes, so I am hoping that we are going to be able to offset that fairly often or often enough. But the idea behind Chain of Vapor obviously is that it is an answer to Dreadnought, which is a big deal, as it is the Premodern format where Dreadnought is king. And also it is a combo with both Tide and Wave, right? The only difference, however, is that the Chain of Vapor, we kind of have to use on the same turn that we cast the Tide. Sure, you can do like play the Tide and then like pass the turn, wait all the way to your upkeep, and then on your upkeep with the triggers on the stack, you just go for the combo, and that way you don't have to have blue in order to pull this off. But the idea is to have a couple of stifles to go, play this, exile everything, and then stifle on my upkeep the return trigger, and then Chain of Vapor, of course, as a way to supplement that, as well as being, again, a sort of a removal spell for Dreadnought specifically. We still have the Seal of Cleansing. This is definitely a format where Seal of Cleansing is kind of not dead ever. Like you always are gonna find the target. Like enchantments and artifacts are kings in this format. And then in the sideboard we have the third copy of Parallax Wave versus creature decks, a couple of copies of Cataclysm. This is kind of a weird split card because it's good versus go wide creature decks, but it's also pretty good against control decks as well, which is not something you can say about very many cards really in the history of the game, period. Being able to like destroy 5 lands with Cataclysm versus control and being able to like destroy like 5 creatures out of a creature deck is pretty solid. We also have Aura of Silence, 2 copies of this, obviously very good versus combo decks, very good versus Dreadnought decks, very good versus just any enchantment and artifact deck. A couple of copies of Deep Analysis. I had Factor Fiction in my sideboard in the past, and the idea was I wanted a card versus the quote-unquote grindy matchups, of course, versus stuff like The Rock versus control decks. But then what I realized is actually Deep Analysis fits that bill a little bit better, actually, because what it does is, like, even if your opponent has a counter spell for the, Factor Fiction or Deep Analysis, you're kind of fine with it because you still have the flashback. So really, it's just a better card for that specific goal. The only issue, obviously, is the fact that it's a sorcery. So as long as you are, you're paying that price. With Factor Fiction, you get to end step Factor Fiction. Your opponent counters it, you untap, and you tap them out a little bit at least. Then we have Hydroblast / Blue Elemental Blast, 1 copy of Null Rod, 2 Curse Totem, and then a split. This has been a split in all of my decks lately. I've really been enjoying the 1 Phyrexian Furnace, 1 Tormod Script split in the sideboard as far as the graveyard hate goes, because Phyrexian Furnace is very solid versus decks that are doing something like that are doing the graveyard for value kind of deal, right? So versus stuff like any survival deck, for example, particularly stuff like Madness, or even something like Astral Slide or whatever that have Eternal Dragon or something like that. So that kind of deck, you really don't want to bring in TMOS because it's card disadvantage and it's just not worth a card to have access to this effect. But having access to the Furnace and just like activate it a little bit every turn has a lot of value, and then obviously it replaces itself, so it's very, very nice. But at the same time, if you're playing against something like Replenish or Angry Hermit, you really, really value the fact that TMOS costs both 0 mana and also gets rid of the entire graveyard. So definitely having access to the split has been very good, because they're very similar, but they also have very different uses, right? Like Phyrexian Furnace can enter into the main deck for a wider variety of matchups, while TMOS Crypt is very, very specific, but it's very, very good at the specific goal that it has. So this is going to be the deck that we're going to be playing. Hopefully it's going to go well. If you are enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you for round number 1. Alright, playing the playoffs versus Lanny. This hand is kind of interesting. We got removal, we got meddling mage. I think I'm gonna keep it. A little bit land heavy, but not the end of the world. We get to portent on 1. Do I just portent him? No, I'm gonna portent myself. Yeah, I'm gonna shuffle that. That's just a couple too many lands. So shuffle that away, send it back. Draw Exalted Angel. Okay, not bad. Let's see what he's doing. Basic Island. Mox. Is this just Meddling Mage? Huh. So this could be actually a variety of things here. This could be... he named Dreadnought. Got him. This could be a variety of things here. It could be either Gro-A-Tog. I think I'm going to name... It could be land tax kind of deck. I think I just Swords to Plowshares this Meddling Mage here. If he wants to, like, I'm kind of bluffing that I'm playing Dreadnought. Korean Ride. Okay, so it is indeed Gro-A-Tog. It is indeed Gro-A-Tog. Okay, play that Seal of Cleansing. Boop, blow that one up. Here you go. So it's probably gonna be able to like cantrip a little bit here. But I'm going to just play Exalted Angel, and I'm just gonna do the thing, I think, here. Mist Land Drop? I'll take a Mist Land Drop. Yep. Perfect, perfect. So let's play Mishra's Factory, and let's morph on Exalted Angel. He can foil here if he wants to. Not sure that's particularly great for him. If he can find like land into Fire and Ice, obviously we get super destroyed. He found it. Meddling Mage. Okay. That's fine. I can raise that. Swords to Plowshares has been named. You got it. So can't cast swords. That's a good one. Play Mom. Turn that face up. Swing. So now we can just Mom plus block and just kind of lock it down, I think. I doubt he's playing the card Lightning Bolt, and he can't cast Swords of Plowshares, which I'm assuming that he doesn't have in his main deck anyway, but yeah, just casting some cantrips and stuff. But we're gonna just play a second Exalted Angel. Just take it from there. I guess we can just... I don't want to run into these, there's just no need to do that, so I'm just going to play this. I'm just gonna name Gush. Although I guess he can't play Gush. I could name Fire and Ice. Oh, but I think if I name Fire, he can cast Ice, and then the opposite is also true. I think I'm just gonna name Gush here. Because, like, I just don't care about Counterspell anymore. Like, it's just... What is he gonna do? Just lose him to the board, right? So worst thing would be if he actually, you know, finds a Gush. He finds second island, he can cast the Gushes that are probably stuck in his hand right now. So Exalted Angel gets in there. Now Meddling Mage can't attack anymore. And next turn I'm gonna be attacking with 2 Exalted Angels, which is gonna be pretty decent at racing. Now Fire and Ice doesn't even bother me because, yeah, Fire and Ice doesn't even bother me because I can just protect the Exalted Angel. So Gro-A-Tog is an interesting choice for him. Gro-A-Tog. Which card is bad against Gro-A-Tog? I think I want the Deep Analysis. Deep Analysis is. I'm just gonna cut 2 Silver Knights. All of my other cards look fantastic, so does Tile do anything? I think Wave is probably okay. Yeah, actually Wave seems fantastic. Just like resetting Equilibrium Drive and stuff. Don't think I care about Cataclysm. I have to be mindful of Armageddon. Like, he may be playing some number of Armageddons in the board. But I think I'm going to be going with something like this. Yeah, let's go with this. And it's really nice that I get to play Seal of Cleansing. In a matchup like this, the fact that I get to play Seal of Cleansing, which is sometimes incredible, like it was in that specific game, right? If your opponent has like a Mox landlight hand, then you can just blow up the Mox and you just take the ECW. And when it's bad, like when they don't have that kind of draw, you can still just combo it with like Parallax Wave and Tide, which makes it very, very cool. Like you always have a fail case for your seals to just be decent. This hand looks very, very strong. I'm gonna keep it. Island into Portent. I'm gonna lead on basic planes, I think, because I can just cast a Silver Knight. I just realized that if my opponent meddling mages Source of Blushers, then I can just play Silver Knight and they can't attack anymore. Opponent did decline the shuffle, and now that I top deck specifically Portent, I think I'm actually gonna lead on Portent here. Another white source is nice. I think all of these cards are good, actually. So let's just go Angel, Seal, Land, Say No. And I think it depends on whether I want to play Seal or I want to play Knight next turn. Korean Dryad. Okay. So I guess I want to play Knight to sort of threaten the blocker. Opponent can daze there if they want. Not that big of a deal. Okay. Sleight of hand. And next turn I get to Source of Plowshares plus Seal of Cleansing. Not gonna block here. Too much can go poorly for me. So holding out Counterspell. Do I want to play out Exalted Angel this turn? I think I want to play out Seal of Cleansing. Actually no. I definitely want to play around Daze. Yeah, so I guess I'm just going to play out the Seal of Cleansing. See what he does. Doesn't do anything. Okay. Do I want to attack? Yeah, I think I do. It's way too unlikely that he just doesn't play any spell in the coming turn. So now if he fetches, do I want to? I think I want to Plow now. This runs into Daze, but it's much better versus Foil because my opponent's not going to be able to Gush. Good. Perfect. So we played into Daze, but we beat Foil and we also beat Counterspell, which are both potentially problematic cards right there. Source to Plowshares. All right. Love for my Knight to get Source of Plowshares as opposed to my Exalted Angel. Blue into Gush. I'm a genius. I am a genius. Played around that like a champion. Is this gonna be Tog? It is Tog. Ugly new frame Psychotog. Probably the ugliest Psychotog I've ever seen. Okay, so now what? I think I'm going to just fetch for an island here. And I'm just going to cast this Parallax Wave and just do nothing. So now this is just gonna sit here, and I'm just not gonna do anything with it. But it's going to mean that my opponent cannot kill me. So this is just there as insurance. This means I get to play the game a little bit slowly. My opponent, if they want to, they can like throw a bunch of cards away. I doubt that they're going to. Maybe they exile some stuff from the graveyard. Okay. It also means that my opponent cannot develop their board either. Like they just cannot deploy another creature, which is obviously fantastic for me. So now that fades a little bit. Mom, it's pretty cool. I think I want a Deep Analysis here. Let's Deep Analysis. I think my opponent has Counterspell in hand. All right. So I'm just gonna. Those are good. I really wished I would have found a land right there, but this looks decent to me. I'm gonna take one, but I'm probably not gonna take any more than 3 because I want to make sure that I have extra life so I can use this Deep Analysis. Man, it's so nice that I just literally have the answer to the Psychotog just sitting on board. It just feels great. Another Gush. Engineer the Plague. Naming Human, probably. Tapped out for that. Very interesting. Very, very interesting that they tapped out for that. So that's fine. Another Seal was the draw. You love to seal that. Okay, so Deep Analysis, Flashback. We need to hit that line drop. No hitting that line drop. That sucks so much. Alright, I'm gonna play another Seal of Cleansing here just to not discard. Pass the turn back. Man, really wish I had been able to hit that land drop. Important. I'm floating on these tides, and I'm not able to like do anything here. I'm gonna take one, and ooh, I get to play. This is so sick. I get to play my Exalted Angel, and I get to exile it. Yeah, that's sick. I think I lead on Meddling Mage actually. So let's go Meddling Mage first. I'm gonna name Counterspell. Counterspell. Now that I wanna play around Daze is the question. I think I probably do. So let's just blow up the Engineer Plague, and I'm going to play Mother of Runes and pass the turn back. Now I can use Wave to protect my creatures. Okay. Exiles to the Archetypes. Pyroclasm. Okay. Source the Archetypes. So that dies. Now I use Wave as a protection spell. Boop, boop. Pyroclasm resolves. And now I get to Tithe plus exile all of my opponent's lands. Really need to dodge Gush. Really have to dodge Gush, but we're kind of doing it here. So all this stuff comes back. I'm gonna name Counterspell. Actually, do I just name Foil? Yeah, I just named Foil. There's also an argument for naming like Blue Elemental, Red Elemental Blast or Pyroblast, but I don't think I can afford to beat those cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a Parallax Tide. So if he has Rev or something like that, then he gets to counter this. I'm going to actually exile that. Exile that. This is to prevent Gush. Exile that. And I just get to Stifle. Source to Plowshare's Mom. Yeah, that's fine. So now that gets exiled. That gets exiled. And do I want a Portent here? Yeah, I think so. Let's just Portent. Actually, I can Portent my opponent to deny them lands, but I don't think that's where I want to. That's what I want to do. I think I'd rather just like Portent myself. Another Portent Mom. Yeah, this actually looks fine. So let's go Seal, Portent Mom, say no, send it back. Now he can't play lands, because if he does, I exile it. So I let that go. And now I Portent myself, because I know that I'm drawing a Seal that I don't want to draw. Yeah, I think I want to shuffle that. Any order, say yes. Play Mom, play Exalted Angel, face down, swing for 2. Let's see what we draw. And then we're going to Stifle the Parallax Tithe return trigger. Land is nice. So now he finally gets to play the island. But oh, Mox Diamond is brutal. So now he gets to counterspell. Yeah, Mox Diamond is fantastic there. The thing is, if he counterspells, then I just flip this morph and I'm protecting my Exalted Angel with a Mom. So we kind of don't care that much. Like, we care a non-zero amount. Okay, so there's that. Angel gets exiled. So now go to my upkeep. Fading trigger resolves. And now the new trigger is created. I stifle that trigger. That resolves. Skycloud expands. Play that. Seal your Mox. Swing for... Yeah, I'm just gonna swing for 2. Leaving Meddling Mage down back to protect. So I could play another Tithe just to gain time. I don't think that is valuable just yet. There's value in preventing Gush, right? Like, Gush is how my opponent gets back into this game. So there is kind of some amount of value in preventing Gush from happening, meaning my opponent finds another island. But yeah, I guess I'm going to now, because I drew Stifle now, right? So because I drew another Stifle, I can just do this, and now my opponent can't cantrip anymore. So pass the turn. So this is just like a sort of an overcosted Wasteland, but it's fine. So that's gonna fade. See what we draw. Another land. Not great, but we are in... I think I'm actually gonna attack with both of them, because this is now a 3-turn clock as opposed to a 5-turn clock. And even with this mom just connecting the single time, it makes the melee mage a 3-turn clock as opposed to a 4-turn clock. So I think that there's value in doing that. Sure, I'm enabling now my opponent to go City of Brass into Swords to Plowshares, right? But I think that the upside is definitely worth the downside when I have this Parallax Tide kind of under just controlling my opponent's development. So my draws, not great, but we're still chugging. I still have one portent left, so I guess that is a reason to not just fetch, because I can use it for value with the portent. All right, land plow. At this point, they're forced to plow the melee mage anyway, right? Because the only source they can have is just... Okay, I guess they can find, like, Mox plus land somehow. But I think that that's going to be GG's. There it is! The solution! GG's, Lanny. GG's. Okay, we are here for round number 2, playing against Ole in the playoffs. So... We're playing in the playoffs, so I'm assuming that he's going to be on Elves. This hand probably cannot beat Elves, so let's ship it. Okay, this hand is doing stuff, I guess. So I like this. We got some cantrips, which is fine. It's just a matter of what do we want to do on turn 1. I feel like I want to look for Meddling Mage, so... Also, wait a second, my wastes are black bordered now? Is this like the new the new Moto update has deleted white borders? That's kind of amazing. I like that. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Tithe. Without the other half, it doesn't really do too much. And the question is whether we go Adarkar Wastes or we Flooded Storm. I think I'm gonna go with Adarkar Wastes because Flooded this allows me to keep like 2 cards that I want and shuffle the 3rd one when I cast this portent. And again, I'm looking for Meddling Mage, and I'm looking for the combination of Parallax Wave plus Seal of Cleansing, or Seal of Cleansing period, because that's going to allow me to slow down the engine, the survival engine. Alternatively, I can just cast Mum. The problem is if I just cast Mum, if I find Meddling Mage, I cannot like portent into a Meddling Mage, so I think I'm going to portent here. Again, I'm assuming that he's on Elves, and I think bingo. All right, so we can say top, top, top. We're gonna say no, and this is perfect now because we're gonna get to cast Meddling Mage, fetch the redundant Silver Knight away, and yeah, he's indeed on Elves. So now I am definitely going to name Survival. Fetch for Plains, and we're going to play Meddling Mage, naming Survival of the Fittest. And pass the turn. So we would love to draw land. Llanowar Elves. There's a Cradle. 3 mana Tangled Wire. Okay. That kind of sucks. Land? Okay, I'll take a land. Pass the turn back. He can't play Survival. So at least his engine is going to be slightly slowed down. Priest. So I'm going to tap these 3 and leave Adarkar Wastes up. So if I find any color producing land, I can cast another Meddling Mage. Swords to Plowshares is great. Yeah. Okay. Let's Swords to Plowshares the Priest and send it back. So next turn we're going to get to cast the second Meddling Mage. Second Meddling Mage is probably going to name... What is it going to name? Wirewood Symbiote, I guess. Okay, so tap 2. That's pretty good. So let's play Mum, and we're gonna go white and blue. Do I just name... Oh, Masticore. I think we name Masticore. Masticore is probably the most threatening card that my opponent can play. Alternatively, we can alternatively name Wirewood Symbiote or the Range Hermit. Those would be other good options. This coming turn, I'm probably gonna blow up the Cradle, I think. Okay, so we only have to tap one thing. I'm just gonna tap the one of the Meddling Mages. Parallax Tide is kind of interesting, but not really because my opponent's got the Nantuko or whatever. So I guess I have to portent plus Silver Knight. Leaves my opponent one more turn of Cradle, but well, that's great. I like all of these. So think we're just keeping all of these, and we're gonna go Chain, Angel, STP, say no. Now the question is, do we want to hold up Swords or do we want to play Silver Knight? I think I'm gonna cast a Silver Knight. It just blocks the 3/2. So I think this is fine. Send it back. So now my opponent can't continue pressuring me. Next turn I can, now I have Swords to Plowshares. Tangle Wire is gone, don't care about that anymore. We get to play a Morph while holding up Swords to Plowshares, which is nice. Oof, that's rough. Alright, so I guess we're gonna continue playing this game for a longer time. We're gonna tap 1, 2, 3, 4. We know there's Chain of Vapor, and I cast a Morph. And now next turn we're gonna be able to tap probably 3 creatures and start swinging with the Angel. It's kind of nice that my opponent's gonna get like a free tap of the Tangle Wire here. Lots of cool synergies going on over there. Opponent's not doing that much though. It's nice that I have Swords to Plowshare so I can deal now with any of the other potentially problematic threats. So you have to tap 3 things now. 1, 2, 3. Say okay. And do we just jam? I think we just flip this and jam. White, white, 1, 2. Swing Angel. And now we start racing. So we're tapped out here. Really wishing to find a land. Feel like lands would be great here. Well-Wisher. We probably have to kill that one actually. Tap 2 cards. 1, 2. Okay. Well, that's kind of great. I'm going to assume that my opponent's got multiple source. They have multiple Cradles in hand. So let's gain some life here. Let's plow the Well-Wisher and send it back. So they tap the Tangle Wire. Perfect! Wow! Winning game 1 is huge. Winning game 1 is huge in this matchup. So now Cursed Totems come in. Obviously fantastic. Cataclysm and Parallax Wave coming in. I don't like Tides, so those can go away. Mom is good. Chain of Vapor is probably okay. I think I'm going to cut 1 Silver Knight. I think we potentially want Phyrexian Furnace. I think I'm going to cut one of the Moms. Yeah, let's cut one of the Moms. The reason for cutting one of the Moms is because my Cursed Totem is my game plan, right? And probably a Chain of Vapor or Stifle. Stifle does some pretty decent work against Elves. Like, not, game-breaking work, but it does some reasonable work. Silver Knight seems kind of medium. Just a big shout out to Meddling Mage in that game. I'm assuming that there were probably multiple survivals stranded in my opponent's hands. So, I think this game is gonna be weird. We're probably gonna be going. My combo is going to be Meddling Mage, naming Naturalize plus Curse Totem. Like, this is the combo that I'm gonna be trying to assemble, and then go from there. I think I'm gonna be cutting the Chain of Vapor. I'd rather have Stifle than Chain of Vapor, I think, overall. Alright, what do we got here? Having access to Portent is quite nice. Furnace stops Anger. This hand is slow, though. This hand is really slow. I'm really looking for like a Swords to Plowshares or something like that. Meddling Mage even. Yeah, I think I'm gonna mulligan this. Although I guess we have 4 looks at a Portent. We have 1 draw step plus 3 looks for Meddling Mage. Oh, but Meddling Mage is gonna be on turn 2 though. Yeah, I think I'm keeping this. So Meddling Mage is gonna be, I guess, 1 turn too slow, because my opponent is gonna get to deploy Survival on 2. But this is, I think it's probably okay. So, oof, well, there you go. Clearly a genius for keeping this hand. Let's Portent here. Yeah, definitely shuffling that. Send in any order and shuffle it away. Pass the turn. What do we draw here? Another land. Not great. Not great. Would love to find Multani Sacolite. So does he have? He has Cradle. Yeah, that's brutal. Man, like, him having Cradle is so good. So he can like play Multani Sacolite again. So I guess I actually have to name Multani Acolyte here. It's so weird. That is so weird. All right, I have to hope that that my opponent does not. I have to hope that they do not find survival. But I mean, they have an insane draw engine on board, and I have to stop it. And the only way that I can stop it is by just naming Acolyte here. Very awkward. Very, very awkward. Yeah, I'm gonna take 2. Another fetch land. I could go Silver Knight plus Furnace, or I can just play a Morphed Angel. What's the better line here? Elf. Okay, 4 mana. Please don't be a Masticore. My best draw here is Curse Totem. That's a Morph. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to... So, no, I'm actually just going to... I'm just gonna play Exalted Angel here. Get a Plains, just morph an Angel, and send it back. We're gonna take some damage this turn, and then next turn I guess we're gonna just start racing. Interesting. He's getting super aggressive. Yeah, I don't think those are good attacks with the Elves. Just throwing away an Elf for not too much value. So we just take 4 there. Just no big deal. Priest, I mean, my opponent has infinite mana. Yep. Just outrageous amounts of mana. Okay. Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. This mage is keeping a bunch of dudes at bay, which is cool. We go up to 16, so Kamal kills me by a lot, so I can't beat Kamal. I probably cannot beat a survival either. Okay, so now he does actually get some free attacks. Get a block there. I mean, probably I guess I should have blocked one of the priests. Doesn't matter too much, I don't think. Okay, place Elf and place Tanglewire. Brutal. Ugh. Okay. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna be tapping some lands. I may actually not be able to afford to fetch, so I'm just going to play this Furnace now. Let's tap it right now for value. I can't actually... I need to continue attacking because my opponent can just not attack with the Morph, and then whatever I block, they bounce, and they deny me the life gain. So I actually have to keep attacking here. Oh, flip Vigilante. Yeah, I guess that's something that they can do. Forgot about that. So one thing I can do, I guess, is I can block the Multani Acolyte. If I block the Acolyte... my opponent can have another Acolyte in hand, however. So this is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 10 damage. So I block one of them. I take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take 9 down to 3. I attack for 4. Opponent goes down to 6. I go up to 7. Next turn I cast Silver Knight. Silver Knight actually keeps Vigilante at bay. So then next turn my opponent's attacking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For 6, which means I survive. Oh no, because they can just attack with the Wirewood Symbiote. So that I would be forced to block if I block like this. That's probably fine. That's probably fine. But I don't think I can just... because it's not unlikely that my opponent's last card in one of their 3 cards, I guess 2 cards, is Multani Acolyte, like a second copy. And if that's the case, they just get to start going off. So, okay. I'm gonna do some tapping here. 1, 2. If I tap here, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. That's huge. That's huge. All right, so now I plow here. So I guess I fetch down to 2. I plow. Oh no, but this is not lifelink. This is actually a triggered ability. So I would take lethal. Oh, that sucks so much. Oh, that sucks so much. I have to keep attacking, actually. Brutal. Okay, so we go up to 7. Now, up to 7. I can play Meddling Mage. I can play second Meddling Mage, also naming Acolyte. And then I go down to 6. I plow Symbiote and I block, we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's lethal. So if I play Silver Knight, I block here, I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 also. So I guess my only line is to plow my own dude. Yeah, that's my only line. So we're going to go down to... what if I fetch planes, play silver? Oh, I think this is the line. So we play planes, play Silver Knight, send it back, block both of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that this forces my opponent to attack with everything. If they want to represent lethal, oh, they drew something that kills me. They drew survival. Brutal. Oh, they don't have a red source. Oh, but they can just get everything, right? No, they can only have one creature. They can only have exactly one creature here. Oh, they just get Kamal, of course. That's right. Yep. Nothing I can do about that one. Alright, I died. Alright. That was rough. That was rough. I'm on the play now. Does anything change? I don't think so. I think we just submit the same. But yeah, very happy with my play of not blocking, you know, not blocking the stuff. Feel like Cataclysm would have been fantastic that game. So it's just my Angel versus one of my opponent's creatures. Parallax Wave would have also been enough to win. Even if it only gives me a single turn, like it just gives me so much control over the outcome of what's going on. Do I care about Furnace? Is Furnace better than another Mom? Probably it's not, actually. Now that I'm on the... No, actually, there's some value in not allowing my opponent to have access to anger. Alright, game 3. What do we got? Sure, keep this. We're on the play, we have turn 2 Meddling Mage, and we also have Parallax Wave. Also Coastal Tower, being sweet and being drawn on turn 1. You love to see it. Symbiote. Sure, let's get a white source, and we're gonna name Survival of the Fittest. Of course, if my opponent has, if they have Acolyte, that's a lot worse for me. But I still think it's correct for me to name Survival with a Meddling Mage that I play on turn 2 on the play. No Cradle. No Cradle is big. No Cradle is very, very big. Okay, that's actually quite a good draw. So let's play Mom and let's play Silver Knight here, and we can start delivering some beatdowns next turn. So he did find a Cradle. It's bad for me, and he found Masticore. Oof. Big oof. Massive oof. So he just makes a bunch of mana. He's gonna kill my Meddling Mage. That's brutal. Yeah, that's so rough. Ugh. Do I just lose now? Do I just lose here? Can I beat this Masticore? I can wave. I think my only out here is to cast this Parallax Wave and hope that I top deck Stifle in the next 2 turns. So I think that's literally my only out. So we're gonna play towards that. I'm attacking with Mom here because if my opponent wants to trade for the Symbiote, I'm good with that. Okay, deal some damage. Gonna Parallax Wave the Symbiote. And I don't think I can really allow my opponent to have this Llanowar Elf either, because I know they have Survival in hand. Because they just went out of their way to kill the thing immediately. So I need to top deck specifically Stifle in the next 2 turns. It's the only way that I can win this game. Maybe Cataclysm could also do it. Yeah, there's Survival. And surprisingly, so fading, no Stifle, bad news for me. We're going to Dust Bowl, sacking Wastes, blow that up, play another tower, swing. We're racing. Just trying to race here. It's not looking great. It's not looking great. I guess if I drew a Cataclysm? If I draw Cataclysm, then I may be okay. So it's Stifle or Cataclysm here. Either draw Stifle or draw Cataclysm. He can also just have Naturalize, right? That would be bad. Yeah, Maya Granger is a problem. So now Anger is online. He swings for 1. Untap. Gonna let that go. Something good? Yeah, that's not it. That is not it. So now we're just... So I guess Cataclysm is still on the board. Throws away a Granger, interesting. So Cataclysm is still kind of on the board. As in it does something. Because the wave is gonna go away. Did not find the Stifle, unfortunately. But if I top deck specifically Cataclysm, then... So everything's... never mind. Everything's hasty now. So my opponent's gonna have... they're gonna be able to find Priest here. Priest comes down. It untaps here. They make a bunch of mana. So now it's over. Man. That's so unfortunate. I feel like I was so close. I feel like I was so close. But if I find Cataclysm now, it's just trivial for my opponent to just rebuild, right? So, okay. So they get their creatures back. Cataclysm. 1 time. Just to have a shot. Exalted Angel. It's not going to cut it versus the Masticore that makes infinite mana. So, yep. That's it. Can't beat this. Concede game. That's as far as we could go. I feel like we were close, yeah. Cursed Totem would have been great. Yeah, we had draws. It just didn't come together. Unfortunate. Okay, so we made it to only the quarterfinals, but I like this deck quite a bit. I'm interested in trying some slight changes. I'm not 100% sold on the Silver Knights. The more that I play the deck, the more that, I don't know, it feels like Silver Knight may be a little bit too narrow of the card to be main decking 4 copies of. So I am interested in trying to figure out if there's another option. Like, I would still play at least 2 copies of the card, but maybe 4 is a little bit too much, right? Like, for example, we just played against both, Gro-A-Tog and Elves, which are decks where Silver Knight is just like, what am I even doing with my life here? This is just like a random 2 mana 2/2 first strike, which is not the worst, but, definitely lacks when comparing to a bunch of the other threats in the format. Yeah, so Chain of Vapor / Stifle is an interesting discussion as well. Definitely interested in trying this out a little bit more. I do like this deck quite a bit, though. I do think that it's very strong, and I do think that there's just work to be done here. I don't think that this is an optimal list by any means. It does feel like some of the Elves style decks might be problematic, but I would feel fairly confident against something like combo decks, or even against stuff like Goblins. I think we probably have a pretty reasonable matchup versus Goblins. So yeah, I like this deck a lot. I will certainly continue working on it, and also almost there building it in paper, so that's also cool. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on the way out, and I'll see you in the next video, folks. Take care. Bye bye.